So I said, well, you won't believe what just popped across my screen. I said, Louis Vuitton, Pharrell Williams fashion show. That's all I saw. You might not think somebody's watching, like, but everybody's watching. I was sitting there by myself, and all the cowboys and the models, they were walking and they basically rehearsing the show. And as soon as I heard the music, I was just like, I'm thinking in my head, like, I almost wanted to start crying. Like, I texted my friend Chanel, I'm like, bro, I can't believe, like, this is happening right now. Like, I feel like before Oklahoma Cowboys, I ain't gonna lie, I didn't see no cowboy shit. I really didn't.
All right, so we got Jakian Parks sitting down with it. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good.
Yeah.
How you feeling? How's the last few weeks been?
Crazy.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's been a lot going on. It's been a lot happening. Life was already at speed, but I feel like the speed
turned it up
a little bit. I'm like running on a treadmill like at 1,000 right now.
For sure.
I was at probably like 600 before everything, but yeah.
No doubt. It's good. It's good stuff though, right?
Yeah, good stuff. Yeah,
for sure. So this is the first time we've done this. So I kind of want to go back a little bit, and then we'll get to kind of the recent stuff, right? So just talk about you a little bit.
Okay.
Are you born in Oklahoma City, like born and raised, right?
Born and raised in Oklahoma City. Graduated from UConn. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And kind of art was always the.
Yeah, art was always the
goal, or just the passion, or what?
No, I just always had an eye for art. Like, I could draw and do stuff like that. Like, I always had an art eye. Definitely art and fashion and stuff like that. Ever since I was a little kid. And then growing up, especially, I realized that I was like a creative artist in high school. I did journalism in high school, and I did a yearbook. And so I was like the head photographer and stuff like that. That's the first time I really touched a camera. Because I always used to like iPhone and use like Visco, stuff like that. So that's like the beginning.
I feel like a lot of photographers start out on stuff like that though, especially like editing and getting lights right and stuff like that.
I had like a little iPhone 4 first camera, like on family trips.
Okay.
If you would see them, you'd be like, dang, it's like yeah, iPhone 4. That's the phone I had. That was my little camera back in the day. Then when I was in high school, I merged into a DSLR, and then I got my own camera.
Yeah, so
went from there.
At what point did you get it? I'm always intrigued, like, you stay real true to the film. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's not the easiest thing to do. You could,
like film photos?
Yeah.
Yeah, film. I didn't start on that until like, I would probably say like a year after high school, because film wasn't like popular like that as it is now when I was graduating high school. It was like getting into going to being popular, but that was a process of still learning. I'm still learning. I still don't know what the hell I'm doing. I do, but I don't. And then film is also a little bit more expensive than snapping on a DSLR, like a camera.
Yeah. How do you feel like that changes? I mean, you got to be more intentional, right?
Yep. You got to know exactly what you're shooting. You got to tell the person, hey, when I click, like, this shot costs $1. It's not free. So every shot counts. I always tell them every shot counts.
Definitely. So as far as like your family and growing up and stuff like that, I know you put out a photography book in 2022, right? The rodeo record, and obviously the Oklahoma Cowboys. And were you involved, like, you going to rodeos and stuff like that?
No, so I mean, yes. Growing up, going to the rodeo and stuff like that, yes. Growing up, I would tag along with my Aunt Shay. She was a cowgirl. She wasn't like a rodeo cowgirl. She was just kind of like a big, huge fan of like cowboys and rodeos. She just grew up in that lifestyle, basically. And so I would just tag along with her every weekend, all through the summers, and that was like thing I did all summer long. And then that was in honor of her, the rodeo record. But she passed away in 2019 of cancer, and so that's how the rodeo record project came upon. And then when doing that project, I was out there in the community and hanging out with the Cowboys. I'm just like, this is more than just like a photo series, a photo project. This is like a whole community that needs to be highlighted on a bigger level. So that's kind of Oklahoma Cowboys came upon. from there, it's just when I made Oklahoma Cowboys. Well, when I first started Oklahoma Cowboys, I didn't know exactly what I was doing with it. I was just kind of like making content. I was just trying to like put the Cowboys out there. Like, I was just making like a whole platform basically for the Black Cowboys in Oklahoma. But there was really not like no like direction with it as it is today in today's world. Like today I have nonprofit with it, many things going with it. So it's just like, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So I mean, what kind of caused the evolution of that, just from wanting to tell the story to like, you know, diving in and being a part of the story, you know what I mean?
Like, what say it again?
I said, what like, from you wanting to just, you know, document it and put them out there and like give them a platform versus, you know, kind of spearheading it and like getting in front of the movement a little bit?
Well, first, I always, like, before I got out there doing, highlighting them, I was, like, moving into a direction of documenting Black lives in Oklahoma. So that was really a main piece to really why I wanted to do it, because, and it all made sense because it was, like, my Aunt Shay used to do it and stuff like that. So I was like, that was a way for me to get back into the rodeo world. But I always had an eye for documenting Black lives. And so putting our community out there, that was a really big picture for me. Did I answer that okay?
Yeah.
Okay,
Definitely. And so starting, you know, the Oklahoma Cowboys, like you said, but getting into the nonprofit and, you know, throwing events, and the whole movement has grown a lot. So just kind of talk about that progression, I guess, a little bit as well. Is it like a conscious thing, or is it just kind of snowballing? Like,
so right now, everything's just like, Oklahoma Cowboys is so fresh. Like, it's still in a very fresh phase. Like, it's still like the small team. Everybody probably thinks there's a huge team behind it. Everybody thinks everybody thinks there's like tons and tons of money coming in behind it. That's not it. No, it's still in a small phase. It looks like it's something big because of the marketing and stuff, and the pictures and the ideas and the recent things that happen. It looks like it's like a big, huge thing going on, but it's still in the beginning stages. I mean, we do have big, huge plans for like a lot of this stuff, but we still got a small team. I think it's like a group of 6 of us. I mean, but I do have bigger future plans for a bigger team. I mean, like some of the goals that I want to fulfill, I need a group of like 50. Like, like I need like a whole huge team, and I need a lot of roles fulfilled. I mean, those 6 people, I mean, they're doing everything right now. And so, and including me, all the social media content y'all see, that's all me. I mean, you would think that it's somebody else and there's a whole person assigned to that. I mean, I do have somebody on logged into the Instagram replying to this, like, comments and stuff like that. But like, as far as like content wise, because I am a creative and I am a photographer and I do have a creative eye, that's all me. So, yeah. I don't know if that was kind of like off topic. But
no, it wasn't.
Okay, cool. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
I keep forgetting. Yeah, go ahead. What was the question there? I feel like I need to add something else to that.
Just kind of growing the brand and, you know, taking it from, I mean, you answered it.
Okay, cool.
Well, I want to ask you, before we get into, you know, everyone starting to reach out and stuff like that, I feel like just in general, like the cowboy kind of vibe is like, for some, I don't know really, it's almost like in the mainstream right now for some reason.
Yeah.
Like, it's like for like a long time, it was like the opposite.
Yeah, like everybody, it'd be like crazy to be like, you see a cowboy. Yeah. Well, it'd be like, yeah, nobody would want to dress like a cowboy.
We're from Oklahoma, so you would see people, but right. I feel like mainstream, like, you know, you see.
Yeah, they'd be like, that's some country ass shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shoot, I don't know. I feel like before Oklahoma Cowboys, I ain't gonna lie, I didn't see no cowboy shit. I really didn't. So I don't know. I do feel like Oklahoma Cowboys is kind of like a big influence to everything that's going on right now. I do feel like we do have a part in that, but yeah, I really didn't see Black Cowboys like on a mainstream how it is now before Oklahoma Cowboys. So I will say that there's probably other influences that I'm probably leaving out, but Oklahoma Cowboys definitely has a big influence on it.
Absolutely. absolutely. That's what I wanted you to say. But
Yeah.
and
Sorry.
so no, you're good.
I wanted to say though, I just hate being so like. I know.
Yeah.
I know. I just hate being like so. Yeah, I don't like being cocky like that. But I know like that. Yeah, Oklahoma Cowboys, because like I'm seeing Beyonce and like little thing. I'm like, I know damn for certain she didn't see Oklahoma Cowboys. Team has got to see it. So, like somebody has gotten to see it.
If not her, her stylist or
her stylist. Somebody has like I know for real. Even probably got inspired off of the Black Cowboys and stuff like that. But a lot of his show was horned towards the Native Americans and stuff like that, but they also includes Black Cowboys too, and Native Cowboys.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's just get into that as far as the Louis V.
Let's talk about Timberland first.
Okay, is that how that progressed?
Yeah, it was Timberland and then Louis V. So
absolutely. So I mean, how did Timberland get in touch with you guys?
Timberland thing? They reached out through email.
Just seeing the social
stuff. Just seeing it's the social, yeah, because I asked them, I said, how did you guys find us? They was like, we just typed in Black Cowboys and you guys popped up. So just finding us on social media is how they reached out. I remember getting a call at 7 o'clock in the morning from a person that checks all my emails, and she was like, you won't believe who reached out. And I was like, who? And this person never calls this early in the morning, so I'm just like, what could it be from this person? So she goes, Timberland reached out. I'm like, wait, what? I'm like half asleep, so I'm like, I wake all the way up, and so she goes, Timberland reached out, and I'm like, I went to go check, and they did, and I was like, dang, this is crazy. So that process was a fast process because they had a strict deadline. I think like the next day, I'm trying to remember back how it happened. The next day, we kind of like scheduled a Zoom meeting, and then the next day after that, we were on a Zoom call. They explaining everything out. It was this dude named Andy and Brian. They're explaining everything out that basically was they want to happen, the collaboration and stuff like that, the boot. So basically the boot that they designed was in honor of like Black pioneers. And so they was just had the Zoom call, and they was like, we need to shoot in like 2 weeks. And then we made it happen. I photographed it all. I like Andy and Brian had a big push of like direction they wanted to, but like as far as like location, getting everybody together, getting a team together, I did it all. So when we were on a Zoom call with Timberland, they were like, telling me about the whole entire thing, and I'm thinking they gonna tell me a photographer, but they were pulling up images, and those images were mine. But at the time, I haven't told them that I was a photographer. I wasn't going to tell them I was a photographer either, because I kind of been getting out of the direction of not shooting no more. I don't know what has happened to me, but I just kind of was just like, they was like, do you want to shoot it? I'm like, yeah. And it was like, dang, you wasn't going to tell us you was a photographer? And so I was just like, no, I wasn't going to tell you, but yeah, I'll be down to shoot it. And then they asked me like, who do you have a videographer that would you recommend? So I recommended a lot of people from Oklahoma, and I recommended some people I would love to work with that was based out of New York and LA. And so they came down here. It was like 2 weeks after the Zoom call, and we made it happen. It was a 3-day shoot. Yeah. I think I'll stop right there and then continue on to like the rest of the days.
Okay, definitely. So take me through it. I mean, how does the rest of that process look like? I mean,
okay, so I'm gonna break it down as much as I possibly can of how everything went down.
Okay.
The whole process, that whole weekend, because it was a whole weekend. So first day, we met Brian and Andy from the Timberland team, the team that came down from New York at Palo Santo, and we met there. We chatted, and they met my team. We met them, and we were just vibing out and just filling out everything, how everything was gonna roll out, and explaining everything for Saturday and Sunday. So then that was cool. Then I think that evening, the next morning, we went to the locations just to go scout the locations with the videographer and a lighting, like a second scout, because they already had, and before Timberland came down, we already had went to go scout the location and lighting, everything grand, and Raul went with me to go scout the location and both the locations. So then Saturday comes around. That was day one of like a community aspect of the rodeo, like because we wanted to do like a rodeo, like have like for the visuals to be like an actual rodeo, but we're not in rodeo season. This all happened last year at like winter time, so we weren't in rodeo season. So I had to make up like a kind of like a set basically. Mm-hmm. So I did as much as possible. A lot of people came out and we got everybody in Timberland gear, and that was a long day. That was like from like morning to like 10 at night. So that was like a very long day. We ate. There was a DJ there. It was just kind of like we kind of reacted a rodeo, but it really wasn't a rodeo. Then the third day came around and we went to a location. That was an all-day thing, and that one was a little bit more hands-on with the people that represent Oklahoma Cowboys. So I have like 7 representations of Cowboys who represent Oklahoma Cowboys, and so that was a little bit more hands-on with like the boots and the merch and stuff like that. And I also did a sit-down interview with them. That was really nervous. I don't like talking on camera. I just like to stay behind the scenes. That was my first like real deal thing. So I was super, super nervous. So yeah, that was basically the whole process. There was a lot more that happened, but I can't list out every detail that exactly happened.
No, yeah. For sure. So, I mean, where in that does so you're working on that for months, I assume. I mean, I know you said it was like 2 weeks from shot but that was months ago, right?
Yeah, so that was like in November.
Okay.
Yeah, that was right before I went to Art Basel. Yeah, so that was in November, but remember that the process was so fast. Like I had to come up with a plan like almost within a week of what I was going to do. Uh-huh. Like we got the Zoom call. I had to really think. Like I had like a couple days of really thinking. They gave me like they gave me like deadlines and all that. So I had to like photos was due by a certain day. They were coming down on a certain day, so I had to get so many things going and rolling in the box. I had to find a location. I had to get lighting people on, and it was just a lot that was happening in so much amount of time that really people don't know about.
Definitely, but
they think it just happened like a snap of a finger.
Yeah,
no, it was a lot of work.
Well, the way it all rolled out, that's what I was kind of getting into. You've been sitting on that for.
Yeah, I've been sitting on that forever. I feel like I've been waiting. I've been answering at my pants supposed to. I never even talked about it like to anybody that close friends, of course, but like Oklahoma didn't know until I posted it. And so even with the Louis Vuitton thing, which I'll get into that in a little bit, but that nobody knew about that until I was on the plane. So. It was hard to keep it a secret. It really was.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay, so after the Timberland team left, we had to find music. And so back when they were here, Andy had brought up at the table and was like, it would be dope to have, we were talking about music, we were talking about the video, we were talking about the whole process, because this was day 2. We were going into like the shooting of day 2. So we ate at a breakfast spot on the east side. And we were at the table eating, and he was like, we need some music. And he was like, it'd be dope if somebody could sing Oklahoma. And he was like in Oklahoma, so Oklahoma. Yeah. And then I was like, it'd be dope if it was a choir. And I was like, I have a choir. Let me call this girl real quick. So I called this girl, set the choir thing. And so we couldn't set the choir thing until like a week after. So after they left, we went on our own days to get the choir done, and they sung I'm from Oklahoma. We kind of made up a song off of another song that I know, I'm from Oklahoma, and then the Oklahoma song. So the music behind the singing, behind the Timberland video, the campaign, is a black choir at a church called, I forgot, but it's on the east side. It's on the east side.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Definitely. So while you're sitting on that, you wrapped it up, right? Everything's done. You said what, beginning of December?
Yeah, I wrapped that up beginning of everything wrapped up about the beginning of December.
Okay, so when did Louis Vuitton reach out?
Louis Vuitton reached out, dang, Oh, they reached out right before the holidays, right
Okay.
before Christmas break. Well, no, I lied. They reached out right. I swear, like a week after the Timberland thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
They
because
happen fast. Yeah.
yeah, that happened fast. So, because I remember when it was going into Christmas break, we didn't hear nothing back from them. Like they reached out. So let me tell you about that. So I was at a Cowboys property, and I was checking my email. Well, I was on FaceTime with my friend Chanel. Everybody knows Chanelica, and and we was on FaceTime and we were just talking about something. I was getting ready to start making some content for one of the Cowboys, for Oklahoma Cowboys, and the email came across my screen. It said Louis Vuitton Pharrell Williams, and I said, "Friend, you won't believe." I ain't even swiped all the way down, so I don't even know if it's real, fake. I don't know if it's like I don't know what it is. I don't know what it could be. I don't know if it's a scam. So I said, well, you won't believe what just popped across my screen. I said, Louis Vuitton, Pharrell Williams, fashion show. That's all I saw. And so I scrolled down like very slow. I slowed down very slow, and it said, Louis Vuitton Fashion Week Paris, Pharrell Williams. And I was reading it, and I thought it was fake. I didn't think it was real. But it came to be true. It had too many firm details in it, so I was like, okay. So the first that process was that whole Louis Vuitton process was very quick also. So the first thing we had to do was submit a walking video for the Cowboys, and also attached in that email it had specific names of who they wanted. So they already had been doing their research, and the crazy thing is the people that reached out from the team that had already been following Oklahoma Cowboys and my personal page, and then a few of the other Cowboys. So when I talk to the Cowboys and we're making the Oklahoma Cowboys series and stuff like that, I tell them, be careful what you post on your Instagram. And that's also to everybody watching, be careful to what you post on your Instagram. Keep all that to your close friends, because you never know who you are. Like, you never know who's watching. I promise you. Like, it's so many things that had happened before the Timberland and the Louis Vuitton thing, from just other things I have went through that are big time people that have been watching me for a minute, and it feels like it all came full circle to what happened now. So I'm just saying, like, if you're a creative rapper, anything that you want to go big time with it, just be careful what you do post, because I swear everybody's watching. I'm watching too. Like, everybody's watching. Like, I promise you, you might not think somebody's watching, like, but everybody's watching. But anyways, backtrack. I'm sorry. What's I'm talking about?
You sent walking video.
Oh, we had to submit a walking video, and so that was over beginning of Christmas break, and so the guy was going on Christmas break, but he still was in contact with us during Christmas break. So he's like, "Cool, we like it, everything. We'll let you know if you're confirmed." So we didn't hear back. We like twiddling our fingers. Hey, we in? Like, we just wondering. So we do email him back. Somebody from my team emails Louis Vuitton back and says, "Hey, are we maybe confirmed?" Like, we're trying to see if we confirmed or not, so we can know if we need to take off work, the Cowboys need to take off work or anything. So he's like, we'll let you know here next week. So we're like, damn, still in the ends of our pants, like, and they don't, like, this is like big, like, we don't reach out, like. So I will say that they didn't book our flight till 2 days before the show. They didn't confirm. They confirmed it, I think it was Thursday, and Friday was the flight booked, and then we had to be out there Saturday. So I mean, we had to be out there Sunday because it was,
Saturday here.
Yeah, Saturday here. But yeah, and so they got us out there right on time for the fashion show. As soon as we got there, like, we touched down, like, at the airport. I mean, I swear, the whole process of how everything happened, from picking us up from the airport to the whole drop off, it felt like we was like, I don't know, they treated us really good. So we got there to the airport. They had somebody's little sign that said our names on it. They took us to the hotel. got checked in. We had to drop our bags off, and we had to go take a Uber to we had to get in with the driver, and he took us to the Louis Vuitton headquarters. And this place was nice. This place was nice. Like, I had never been in something like that. Like, it was legit. Like, you had to walk through a whole little security thing, and right next to the foundation, or not the foundation, the headquarters was the a Louis Vuitton store that was really nice too. And so headquarters, we go up the elevator. It's nice. It's just nice. Like, if I could take, I wanted to take some. I couldn't take no pictures. Like, I wasn't trying to be that person. It was just like so many people around. Like, I just wanted to take a lot of pictures, but I was like instant at my pants to pull out my phone, but I couldn't. So we got there to the headquarters on the 3rd floor, and it said Men's Fashion Week, no photos, no social media. So all off the rip, I'm like, damn. I already knew though, but I'm like, damn, like, I can't even try to sneak a photo. And so we walk in, and it's this big room full of like clothes, pictures, people sewing, everything in there that everybody saw on the walkway. It was in there. The runway, it was in there. Once I got in there, I did have to step back out because it was like so that leading up to the show, everything was so strict. Like, if you were not in the show, or if you weren't like a seamstress, or like if you weren't for that day, then you had to like be out like in the waiting room. So I had to go back out. So they were in there for like, I would say like a good hour and a half, but I would say like a good 2 hours they were in there. They were in there for a long time, and they were in there longer than any of the other models. So that's what I'm saying. Like, they treated them like they were like good. So they come out, and we go. They got to meet Pharrell. Pharrell really loved everything about the Cowboys. I mean, they were like, he was like basically like, thank you so much, like bowing down to him. Like, it was like, yeah. Yeah, it's like no words. Like, that whole entire experience, it was just like, it was definitely a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely was.
Absolutely. Has all that like set in?
No. Because there's so much stuff going on that, like, it's just like, now I'm onto a whole nother thing right now. So it's just like, not that I forgot about it, it's just like, I can't sit down and process it. Yeah. So, but I will say, when I was at the rehearsal the second day, so Louis Vuitton, that was a whole 30-day process. So it was fitting, rehearsal, show day. And then whatever things we had to do outside of that, that was that. The Cowboys did have to stay, they booked us for a whole nother day for a whole editorial shoot that no one knows about. Now everybody knows about. They booked us for a whole nother editorial shoot that they stayed for, that's going to go into some type of magazine sometime this summer. But that was a 3-day process. So I will say, I did have a moment when I was at rehearsal, and when I was sitting there, I was sitting there by myself, and all the Cowboys and the models, they were walking and they're basically rehearsing the show. And as soon as I heard the music, I was just like, dang, like, I can't believe that. I'm thinking in my head, like, I almost wanted to start crying. Like, I texted my friend Chanel, I'm like, bro, I can't believe like this is happening right now. Like, I never would have thought like I would be here. Then I would never would have thought Oklahoma Cowboys would be this far. Because when I first started Oklahoma Cowboys, I'm thinking like, I knew that it was gonna be big eventually, but like it took off overnight. And the whole Louis Vuitton thing, I'm thinking like stuff like that happened like 25 years down the road, like 7 years down the road, like even the following, like that, like following wise, like the following thing is not a big thing to me, but that happened overnight. Yeah, like it is like for growth and stuff like that, but like that happened overnight too. Like it blew up off a TikTok video. So
talk about that. What was the video? I don't know if I've seen it.
I was at a rodeo and I was just recording. Posted the video, and I got back to, that was in Texas. So day after Texas, I got back home, and I would say 2 days later after Texas, went to a friend's house and my phone kept buzzing. Bing, 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 bing. I swear on everything. Like, no, like that feeling, I know what it felt like to like blow up off of like social media or something like that because my phone kept going ding, 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 ding. And I'm like telling her, I'm like, hey, my phone keep buzzing. I'm not thinking nothing. I'll get back to what I'm doing with her, stuff like that. So it keep going off and on. So I check it. I'm like, what's going on? And I'll look in and say, follow, 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 like. It's going crazy. Like every time I go on Instagram, it's like, look, it's a 100 every single time. So then I'm like, I'm still confused, like to like what's going on. I'm like, damn, the account get hacked or something. Like I'm not thinking like account get hacked, but I'm thinking like, damn, what's going on? Like how did it blow up over that? Like how did this? I don't know what video blew up. I'm just like, they just liking everything. So
Yeah.
and everybody's just following. So I really like sit down and look, and I'm like, damn, what's going on? So I'm having to like really look because there's so many notifications. But I see that somebody reposted a video, and it was this brand called Black People's Pets. And once they posted it, it was a wrap from there. So, but and before that, and still to today, I still put the same effort and energy into the videos that I had before it blew up. I still, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
I don't
have to, right?
record it just so, let me try to get a like, let me try to get a view. No. Still the same effort that I was doing before the video blew up.
Definitely.
So,
What do you feel like it is this like about the whole brand and just the whole idea that resonates with people so much?
Black Cowboys. Just black people ride, like seeing black people riding like that, doing that lifestyle. Cause I feel like a lot of people don't think it's like unusual or never seen it before. Like when we were in Paris, walking down the street, like they had their cowboy hats on, cowboy boots on, just dressed like a cowboy, just how they usually dress. And people like oh my gosh, Black Cowboys, like a dude with dreads, like, you know what I'm saying? They shocked. Like even when we go to New York and stuff like that, and like a friend has on cowboy boots, I have on cowboy boots and then hats, and they looking at us in the airport like never seen this before. Like it's like shocking to them. So I think it's just like the whole culture of Black Cowboys and Black Cowgirls and African American rodeo lifestyle is just, that was what really is pleasing to people.
Definitely.
Yeah.
What do you think about the feedback as far as, you know, the two? I mean, first of all, the coincidence of them being done so far apart and then you coming back to back within like a week with those two, you know, things is crazy to me.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think
you talking about the Timberland Louis Vuitton
yeah,
thing?
like the fact
Yeah,
that the Timberland drop ended up being the week after the Louis Vuitton show is just like...
and so it's crazy. Timberland did a collaboration with Louis Vuitton, and so it was so coincidental that all that happened. So I'm thinking that the Timberland team, when I first got the email, I'm thinking, like, okay, Timberland team, they like knew what was in on the Paris Fashion Week for real. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking they like put the word in, like, oh, Black Cowboys, they got them. You know, Oklahoma Cowboys is it for you. And so, but come to find out, that wasn't the case. There was no ties to Oklahoma Cowboys Timberland. It was just like, I swear it was God. Shout out to God, really. It was God that made that happen. I don't know. That's all I say.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, how do you feel like as far as like the feedback and just, you know, the
feedback?
How people are reacting to everything that's happened in the last couple of weeks.
Oh, they living it. Oklahoma turn. Oklahoma
Chris
is...
McCain say you're the Louis Vuitton Don now.
Oklahoma is... I feel like Oklahoma feels really good that Timberland highlighted a community, a Black community in Pacific, and gave spotlight on Oklahoma and what we do down here. So that's really big for Oklahoma. I mean, ain't no other brand, besides like movies and stuff like that, but no brands and stuff like that has done that for Oklahoma, especially a culture of Oklahoma. So the feedback is, I got a lot of good feedback, and the world now knows who Oklahoma Cowboys is and where Oklahoma is. Because I will say, when we was in Paris, back to Paris, every time we tell somebody where we're from, they have no clue where Oklahoma is. No clue. They have no clue where Oklahoma is. They have no clue what Oklahoma is about. Nothing. When I speak about Oklahoma, I have to tell them it's near Texas, near Dallas, near Houston, and that's when they'll click on. They be like, oh, they still thinking back in the day, like pow pow pow, like cartoons, like movies,
Old
like
West,
old West. When we talk about, because we're Cowboys, they dress like Cowboys, so they're thinking like, oh, like Texas, like pow pow pow, like no, we don't do guns. So that's what they like. That's what they're thinking down there. So it's so it was blowing my mind when they was like when they think like that. That's just like crazy. I'm like, dang. But it makes sense though, cause like when we go down there, everything's so foreign. Like as soon as we got into the car, I'm like thinking like, damn, this nigga speaks French, and like he could kidnap us right now. My phone barely working, like service barely working. Like it's working, but like if I needed to speed dial, like nah, it's not getting through. Like so I understand like it's definitely different. Everything's different. So it's just you gotta adapt and learn about the history and learn about just a lot of things. I learned a lot in Paris. Paris is different.
Was there anything in particular that was?
I will say I was starved most of the time because I'm a very picky eater.
Okay.
And the only time I really ate was breakfast at the hotel. And I got some pancakes and French toast. I mean, not French toast sticks. Bacon and fruit.
I don't even. What do French people eat? Like everything that's coming to my mind is Italian food. And
Italian food. They had like Italian food. They had pizza and they had all that type of stuff that you can think of, but it just didn't taste like American. So I will say they're a lot healthier than we are, because even McDonald's had like a whole bakery and a whole salad bar, and just like the McDonald's, I could just walking in there, you could just see that it's automatically healthier than what our McDonald's are. So I will say that they're a lot healthier down there. But one thing I will say about Paris is like it's not as easy to move right down there. So for example, America has a good, let me just say that, noticing the difference. So if you got a headache and you're at the hotel and you need to go to Walgreens, you can't just do that. You can't just hop in the car and go to Walgreens. You actually have to like as easy as it is in Oklahoma or United States to go hop in the car. Oh, let me go to Walmart right quick. Or like if we're in New York, when we walk to Walgreens to go get some headache medicine. You can't do that in Paris. It's so different down there. At least to my understanding, I didn't see anything like that. I didn't see no one gas station. I don't know how they get gas down there. I don't know if it's like, we barely saw a highway. I mean, we got on the highway one time, but it was just like, everything was so unknown. Like, it was just different. It's different. And I will say Paris is not what you think it is. It is.
I've heard that it's a little dirtier. Like
It's not dirty. I keep hearing that. People keep saying it's dirty. It's not dirty. It's the same vibes as New York. It's just a lot more bougie. I will say that it's like for shopping. If you want to go shop, that's the place to be. They got every store you can think of, and I will say like all the designer stuff way cheaper. But it's the same vibes. Walking, public transportation, it's the same thing as New York. Everybody in Paris knows where New York is. I guess that's their little hub back to the United States. But I love Paris. It was cool. It was definitely a vibe. That was my first time going out of the country, because I've been like on a cruise and stuff like that. But it was
overseas.
Yeah, overseas. Yeah, it was definitely the first time going overseas. And then the way there, it took 8 hours. We flew out of Dallas, and but going back was the worst. I mean, I feel like going there was like so much easier because I was just excited and antsy to get off the plane, ready to get there. And it was snowing there when I got there too. That was a really crazy thing. It was really freezing. It was cold when we were there. One of the guys got stuck there on the last day and had to stay because there was a snowstorm coming in, a rainstorm, some shit. And then, but yeah, Paris is different.
Definitely.
Everybody watching, go experience it for your first time and tell me what you think.
For sure. So moving forward, I mean, I know you said, you kind of mentioned it earlier, like you're moving on to the next thing. You haven't really had time to sit down and process, the
Yes.
last few weeks. So I mean, what do you got coming?
So I worked on a project that was during the Timberland and Louis Vuitton thing with a lady that's on my team, Chloe Flowers, for Black History Month. So I was very focused hard on that, plus the Louis Vuitton thing. When I'm working on projects now these days, it's a lot of projects going on at the same time. I'm not gonna lie. Used to be just one thing at a time, but now it's just like, I would say probably I got 5 things going on at the same time. Like, I'm in a meeting right here, then I gotta set my brain over to this meeting. It's just like a lot of things going at the same time. So picking up on that pace and learning that way of flow of life now, because that's where it's moving into. I will say right now, just finished up the Black History Month project, and everything is just scheduled to post, rolling out. And then working on a summer camp. So,
For kids, right?
yeah, a youth summer camp.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be based in Oklahoma City and then Tulsa area. North Tulsa, to be specific. Yeah.
So talk about kind of what the vision is there.
It's all in the beginning stages, I will say right now. Because I have it all written down of like all my ideas and plans and stuff like that. But like what exactly is going to happen, I could say it's going to be a 4-day summer camp, 9 to 1, and it'd be free.
Or just like the mission of
Oh, the
like
mission is.
I'm
sorry. Mission is to get the kids to outside of the house to learn the outdoor side of the cowboy world, agriculture, maybe arts, and learn how to be a cowboy. Learn how to be a cowboy and cowgirl, to move kids into that direction instead of like everybody doesn't have to be a basketball player, rapper, photographer. You could be a cowboy even if you didn't even grow up into the cowboy world. I want Oklahoma Cowboys to be for the youth to be. So a young kid, they're like, I want to be a cowboy, but they didn't grow up in the cowboy world. You could be a cowboy, but you just gotta find the right path of where to learn how to be a cowboy, learn how to still wrestle, learn how to jump, learn how to bronco ride. Everybody can be a cowboy, a cowgirl. If you could be right now, you're like, hey, I want to try to be a cowboy right now.
I have to show you. I have
I feel like everybody can
phase, I had
a little cowboy phase.
Yeah,
like
my people are,
country.
Yeah.
Country. Okay. They rodeo. Okay. Like everybody can be a cowboy, a cowgirl. Like it's not just like as you want to be a basketball player. Like there's no, I gotta grow up and to be this lifestyle. No. But yeah.
Definitely. So
the mission, the mission is to
expose
the kids to the cowboy and cowgirl world and the agriculture, learn how to grow and learn how to grow your own food.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The last thing I want to ask you, really just kind of more of an overarching question, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like yourself included.
Oh, let me add to that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry to cut you off. But I will say, so we got the summer camp, and I have 2 major things I'm working on right now, plus a whole other lot of stuff that's not as major as these 2 things. But the 2 things are the cowboy camp and then the rodeo in 2025. And the rodeo, I'm looking to take it to Houston. But yeah, that's as far as I say right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dope.
But there's a lot of other things that are going on that some of the things I can't even speak on, but it's just a lot. It's a lot going on. It's just a lot. But yeah, that's it.
Definitely. And so really to that point, right? Like yourself included, I mean, you talked about like movies and, I feel like there's a lot going on in Oklahoma right now, just in general. Like
yeah,
a lot of people are paying attention to Oklahoma, it feels like to me.
Yeah, heck yeah.
And so I just, wanted to get your thoughts on, kind of where we're at right now and where you might see, things going, just kind of based on where everything is at the moment.
Yeah, and when you were saying...
I mean, just growth in general. Like
Right. When you were saying that a lot of people got eyes on Oklahoma right now, I was in a Zoom call with some big people, and there was a group of like 10 people, and they're all like, Oklahoma's on my bucket list now. Like I would have never thought I would have never thought anybody would say Oklahoma's on their bucket list. Like that's something you say New York or Atlanta, but these people are like big time people and they're like Oklahoma's on my bucket list. I'm like, damn, hey, come on down, I'll show you around. But yeah, but how I wanted to say that. But what was the question I'm sorry you asked? You saying that where's Oklahoma going?
Or just kind of like how you feel about how everything is, kind of the spotlight, I guess, that's on it right now. And I mean, just in general, like the growth, they're pushing to grow the city, like the downtown and just kind of the whole state of everything right now. If you have any thoughts on it, I mean.
The only thought I would say Oklahoma's on a come up, really. I mean, 10 years down the road, it's going to be a city that everybody going to be trying to come to. I can see. It's just that the people that are here now, all the creatives and all the people that can help the city, I would say we all need to unite together and like be together to make this city be a poppin' city in the coming years. So that's one thing I will say.
What do you feel like isn't happening in that sense that should? Just people like supporting each other, or I mean.
Yeah, the support thing. I feel like everybody that if you're from the city and you're a creative, like just support the other fellow creative as much as you would want the support to you. That's how our city is going to grow. Because when I go down to New York or LA or, I mean, you got X, Y, and Z. I feel like the whole city pulling up for this. Just this one person. It's every event that I'm going to. Like it's like. But I feel like Oklahoma can have that same thing if everybody's supporting. And we're all like I feel like Oklahoma is like a unit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we could be a unit. Because, like, it's not as big as those other cities. Like, so, yeah, I don't know if I just said that right. But,
yeah.
Was I say that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, definitely. Well, I know you probably got 3 other things you got to go do tonight, so I don't want to take up too much of your time.
Yeah, no, you're good.
But I appreciate you, sitting down with us, catching us up on what's going on, and excited to do another one in, a few months or, a year and see how much you've grown from there. So appreciate it, bro.
For all the creators out there, music, rapper, anything that you got to go with, if you have big dreams of doing, like even being a sports player, like what you really want to do in life is going to come. I promise you. Like, because like all these things like that's happening, like I feel like it's been like a dream. Like I feel like a dream can come true. Like literally, like some of the stuff I would have never imagined. But it's like you gotta speak what you want. You know what I'm saying? Like don't ever downplay anything that it won't happen. Like just always dream big. I swear, like for real. But as a creator, just watch what you post. Be like that's the main thing I would say to every creator. Just keep the hustle. Just keep at it. Yeah.
In terms of like you talking about like quality of stuff or just like professionalism?
Quality, professionalism, everything. Like from just like if you like don't just rush to push something out. That's one thing. And that's quality. And professionalism, as I'm saying, like just don't just be posting anything. Like just be very selective what you post.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's what I would tell every creative right now, because that's the only way that you would grow. But yeah.